I understand that you've lost people, and that is terribly tragic. I, but you have to understand, the affairs of mortals and gods. It's different.
Well, do you have any advice for me with this? I don't really know what to do with it. I've been trying to control it, but I'm still almost killing the people that I'm traveling with.
Well, um,
It just goes off sometimes. It does things I don't mean it to do.
hmm. Tell you what. Allow me to grant you a gift, a something from a father to a daughter that'll allow you to press your luck. It's kind of my whole shtick. Um, and he pulls off from his suit, he pulls off a cufflink and he kind of blows on it. And as he's blowing on it, it starts to glow as if like metal being heated. And then he kind of waves it a little bit like that until it cools down a bit. And he places it down in front of you. Put that on you at some point. Yeah, on your clothing or wear it in your ear, whatever you want. Um, and so long as you have that, when you feel that your chaotic tendencies are starting to overwhelm you a bit, um, it will think on me, right? And think on this boon that I have bestowed upon you, and perhaps it will give you the opportunity to press your luck further. Um, and yeah, happy several birthdays.
Thanks, I guess. Um, so is it going to be another 20 years before I see you again?
Um, Probably not. To tell you the truth, I'm not much for children. But you're grown now. We can have adventures or something. Maybe say a prayer to the gambler now and again. I'll hear you.
Okay.
There's a smile. You know, you look just like your mother.
You know she's dead too. I didn't kill her.
Oh, well, that's good. Um, well, and he kind of bumps the table a little bit, and a drink goes and kind of like starts to tip over, and you reach to like catch it so that it doesn't fall on your dress, and he's just gone.
Nice. I
And
chug it.
Erdan, you can hear again.
La la la. I can hear myself now. What was that?
I'm just chugging the beer and I like storm off.
What did? Is there anyone? Is there anyone else around?
I mean, there's various people, but no one that was kind of. You do see a couple other people that seem to be like trying to like do this thing. Um, so it's clear that like maybe some other people were like, "Ooh, look at this girl. Let's see if maybe I can walk up and talk to her." And as they were trying to like sidle their way into the conversation, all of a sudden their ears popped as well. Um, but for the most part,
Does Erdan know why she's upset, or was able to see what was going on?
Okay. I'm sorry. What was the last thing you just said?
Was Erdan able? Does he know why she was upset? Why she stormed off? Was he able to see what was going on?
No. Well, I mean, you saw them just having a conversation, but it's almost confusing because you didn't see a guy just disappear, right? It looked like she went to reach for the cup, and even though you had seen this guy there, it's kind of like you know that he was there, but now that you're looking, it's the memory is already kind of starting to drift away. Like it wasn't weird, like he didn't just vanish, but he did, and your brain is trying to put that together because it's not like he teleported away. He just stopped being here, you know.
Gotcha. So I'm like just a little foggy. Like I wouldn't be able to repeat to other people what happened.
No, in your mind, someone came down and sat down, and Moira started talking to them. All of a sudden, it was like you couldn't hear, and then Moira was mad, and like the interaction in between seems like maybe it was the blink of an eye. It's weird to your perspective. Moira, you fully understand exactly what just happened.
All right. Well, I'm gonna chase after Moira and just kind of walk. Moira, I've got a. What was? Are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah, fine. Just somebody I never thought I'd see again.
I don't even know what I saw. That was eminently strange. I barely remember seeing a figure there. I just know that you were talking to someone, but I don't know how. But
He's from my past. He gave me some answers. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it right now.
all right, fair enough. I'll leave it up to you if you want to tell the rest of the group. We should probably get back to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Moira, the cuff link that he just gave you, whether you choose to use it or not, is an item that that will basically work on the system that we have in place for your wild magic. If you roll a failure, you can once per day, you can choose to roll again, but instead of going up by 1, it'll go up by 2. So, you know, say you're at a 1 through 5 and you roll a 5 or less, then you can be like, you know what, I'm going to use the cuff link, and now you get to roll again, but now it's 7 or less. You know what I mean? It goes up by 2 instead of by 1. The odds get harder and harder as it goes on, basically. Pressing your luck. Okay. So, Erdan and return to the party. Moira, did you say you are going to go be alone, or you're going to rejoin the group as well?
So I'll rejoin the group and like I'll angrily put it on my ear as I'm going. Like I'm taking it, but I just don't want to be taking it. And I'm gonna rejoin the group. Does that require attunement?
No.
Okay.
But it can only be used by a wild magic sorcerer, so no one else would get any benefit from it.
Okay.
All right, gang. The party is the actual party has reunited. The night of the party continues on. You know, music being played, drinks being poured. Is there anything else that you guys want to do at the party, or do you want to move on to other matters at hand?
I say we bounce.
Yeah.
Cool. The motion passes.
Okay. So where do you guys want to go? I'd say at this point, it's probably about 9 or 10 in the evening. You know, you guys were at the party for some time. It's gotten dark out. You still have your rooms set up at the Thirsty Vagrant, the tavern owned by Lillian, the halfling.
When's the last time we've taken a long rest?
You guys had a short rest in the afternoon and you had a long rest the night before.
Oh, okay.
So you guys aren't in any fear of like exhaustion or anything like that if you pushed on and did stuff into the night. You do know of the whereabouts of Tomlin's apartment, which again, like I mentioned in that message, whether you guys want to go and investigate that yourselves or you just want to turn that information over to the king and his steward, I mean, you can do that. It's up to you guys how you want to handle that business.
Do we think? Go ahead, Steve.
There was kind of an unfinished thing from a prior session where it was questioned whether we got our payment for clearing the crypt.
Oh, yes, sorry. I should have included that in last session and I just forgot to. You guys were paid upon leaving the temple. Anya paid you guys. I believe you guys had negotiated wages with her. I don't remember exactly right now what you guys had, the deal you had worked out, but I'm sure it's in the notes.
Okay, thanks. Sorry to detour there.
No, that's all right. Thank you for bringing it up.
Did we ever get the coins back to the castle?
Anya told you that she would be willing to take care of that herself, to make sure that they were brought into evidence so that, you know,
Okay.
more information could be gathered about this demon and this cult that seems to be following him.
So do we think Tomlin is going to be home if we go to his apartment, or is he going to be out partying at the festival?
Didn't we kill Tomlin?
Oh yeah, you guys fully
Oh,
killed him.
right. That derp.
Bag.
that-
Jesus
That was a
Christ.
full death.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. You guys had just talked about ransacking his apartment because you know that he has the mask that they wear to the party and anything else that might be at his apartment, incriminating or otherwise.
You guys want to go do some ransacking?
Yeah.
All right, let's go burgle an apartment.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Being 80.
Thankfully, it won't have to be too much of burgling because Tomlin did have a key on his person, and you guys literally have his person. As I recall, isn't his corpse in the bag of holding right now? Or did you deposit it in the catacombs when you guys were down there?
Yeah, I thought we were just dropping the bones and the extra bones in the
Yeah,
catacomb.
we dumped him, didn't we?
No, I thought
I-
we just were gonna dump him off the boat.
Yeah, I thought you guys had said you were going to dump him at sea.
Oh, okay.
So
So
that
they
the
would be-
body.
Trace the catacombs, body in the catacombs back to us, because it's not like they put fresh ones down there.
That's true.
Not that fresh anyway. They usually dead a few days.
Okay. Then he's still in the bag of holding.
Yeah. So you guys have access to the key to the apartment. And he did tell you during the interrogation, once you guys had him under the zone of truth, where that apartment is located. It is in the business district of the city. It's not up in the fine district. It's not a slum by any means when you guys get there. But it's not the apartment of a wealthy man. It is above a cobbler, like a shoemaker's shop. It is a third story apartment, and there's a ladder along the outside that goes up to his apartment, which You guys proceed to go up. Is everybody going up in, or are you guys breaking up?
I don't think we all need to go in to burgle an apartment, right?
Erdan is definitely going in.
Okay, I will stand outside.
And how big is this thing to get?
I will stay with Rislin.
Well, you guys don't know exactly what's in there. All you know is that there is going to be a mask. He said there was a mask that everyone in the cult wears so that nobody sees faces. But other than that, you're not sure what will be in the apartment.
Gotcha.
So
And-
Rizwin and Gander are staying watch. Erdan is going in. Who else?
I don't think too many of us should sit out on the street because then we'll be conspicuous.
I don't think they're going to question clerics standing together. Would you like to
Yeah.
join us?
Have you heard the good news?
Would as we're going in, can I do a perception check to make sure we're not being like watched or anything?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Work. Oh, that's fun.
Now 1.
So I see
Hard to
shit.
tell. It's dark. You guys have been drinking. You are still feeling kind of flustered from your conversation earlier. It's really hard to focus.
Before entering, Erdan will want to just take a quick look around and see if there's anybody around or anybody looking suspicious.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Let's see if this works. 21 total.
Nice. You do not notice anybody lurking about.
Sweet.
Is that all you were looking for?
Yeah, I was just looking around, making sure that there wasn't anybody like looking at us that or somebody that was very obviously following us. Other than that, I'm just going to mage hand up and very carefully try to open up the door.
Okay. Are you using the key or are you just trying to pick the lock?
Oh, I'm going to use the key with mage hand.
Okay. So yeah, the key goes in. Which way do you turn it?
So it will allow me to turn either way.
Maybe.
I'm just going to turn it like a normal
Clockwise or
key.
counterclockwise?
Just clockwise.
Okay. The key goes clockwise. You hear the tick of a bolt opening, and the door is open.
All right, just bring the key back, just pop it in my hand, and then I just push open the door with mage hand.
The interior.
I would like to do an investigation check for traps if possible.
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
18.
Okay. You gather from as you are actually looking at the lock that there might have been a trap in there.
Nice.
As you are looking around the room, it's hard for you to tell like from the door, but you do get the distinct impression that like it's possible that there's some fuckery in here. Like your eye catches just like the glint of metal that's kind of low to the ground in a weird way, as if maybe it's a metal mechanism that's attached to something else.
Well,
You want me to kick
I'm
it?
going to very carefully enter and ask if anybody has some light they can shed in here.
But you have dark vision.
That's true, but you know. So I'll enter. Is anybody following me?
Yeah. Anyone else
Okay.
wanting to enter?
Park entrance as well.
Okay.
I imagine I'm going in because I would look weird on the street.
And peaceful.
The boys are
Um,
in. Useful inside or out on the street?
I'd be helpful inside. I think.
Yeah.
Yo, yo, Tomlin, where's the light?
Are you speaking into the bag of holding, you monster?
Yes.
There's like a gas lamp that is sitting on a desk, and some candles that could be lit. Looks like he extinguishes everything before he leaves the house, like anyone who lights a house with an open flame probably should. So everyone but the clerics are inside.
Yeah, I'll go in too.
Okay. The apartment is not very large. There is a rug on the floor that takes up the majority of the kind of living room space here. It's not a studio. There are a couple other rooms. There is in the main room here, a couple chairs and end tables for tea. There's some bookshelves. There is a trunk that is sitting off to the side and like a coat rack that's above it. And then there are 3 different doorways that lead out into presumably other rooms of the apartment. Are you guys just tearing the place apart?
I would like to do an investigation check.
Sure thing.
I will also do one.
I don't do it. Should I roll another investigation check while I'm in there?
I got it. And
I mean, we can let your 18 ride if you don't want to chance it with them.
I'll roll it again.
Okay.
25.
Okay.
shit.
Much better check. Erdan, you managed to stop up Moira right before she catches her foot on a tripwire that seems to be running in front of where that trunk is.
Oh, be very careful. There is he was quite mischievous, and I just kind of point to the trap.
Well, shit.
Did you want to roll one too? Investigation check.
I'm trying.
So yeah, you didn't manage to step on it. It looks like he ran a tripwire in front of this chest. That just means they put new content in, yeah. But by not stepping on it, you haven't triggered whatever that would trigger. The little glint of metal that you caught out of the corner of your eye was the place where this tripwire attaches to the wall before Erdan. With your investigation checks, there, like I said, there is this trunk or chest that is sitting on the ground that had this tripwire in front of it. By opening up the other doors, you don't trigger any other kind of traps. There is a bedroom. It looks plain as can be. There's a wardrobe, a bed, and a chair, and a little writing desk. There is a pantry that has basically like a one-seated sort of little table inside of an oversized pantry. Looks like he probably keeps some food in there. And then there is, for lack of a better term, a toilet. It's not like what we would consider a toilet, but it's basically a closet that's got a chamber pot in it. And this is his apartment. You guys managed to find in the wardrobe, there's some clothing. In the pantry, there are spices and some dried meats and things like that. In the toilet, there is nothing because that would be gross for him to leave a shit to come home to later. And everything seems pretty innocuous. As I mentioned, there is a bookshelf that has some tomes on it. There are some things on there that are reading about dragons and other things like that, but it seems like for the most part, maybe not a very avid reader. did anybody want to attempt to take a peek at the chest?
I am going to take some of his clothes and put them in the bag of holding.
Okay, sure. There's a pretty standard outfit in there. There also is a like a pretty nice cloak. Looks like it's made from, I don't know if maybe seal skin or something like that. Like it has kind of a it looks like it would be really good at repelling water. So yeah,
Cool.
pretty nice cloak.
Yep. That's going in the bag too.
Sounds good.
Well, once again, time for Mage Hand. All right, I'm going to attempt with Mage Hand to open up the chest. Mage Hand can only lift up to 10 pounds. I don't know if that's going to be a problem.
That wouldn't be a problem, except that the chest itself does seem to have a padlock on it. It looks like
Okay.
it is trapped and locked. So if you want to try and roll like a thieves tool check or something like that to try and, disarm the trap, break the lock, whatever you want to do, roll me up some thieves tools.
Yep, you got it. I'm just trying to find it in my list here. There we go. Use tool. Oh, that's weird. I think it's only plus proficiency, right? D20 plus proficiency for thieves tools. When you're proficient with them.
I think it does count for dexterity.
It does. Okay. For some reason, I thought it didn't. Let me.
Are you proficient in thieves tools, or do you have expertise?
I am just proficient in thieves tools.
Okay.
So 19.
Okay, on the 19, that'll work. You managed to undo this tripwire that you saw in front of the chest. When you undo it, you hear like a clicking sound, which then when you pick the lock and manage to get that open, you lift up the lid and you notice what would have possibly happened had you guys stepped on the wire, right? Inside the chest, which was connected to a wire, was a loaded crossbow. Basically, had you pulled the wire, when the chest lid opened, it would pull a wire inside the chest, which would have fired a crossbow bolt. Basically, it's like a two-step trap. If you can manage to trip the wire and pick the lock, you're going to catch a bolt. But by noticing the trap ahead of time and disarming it, there is just a loaded crossbow inside this chest. Inside this chest as well is a set of white robes with blue trim and a mask that looks like a snarling dragon's face, but it's kind of skeletal. It has almost the feel of one of those like Chinese New Year dragon masks, that's very exaggerated and big fangs, but with almost a skeletal kind of look to it. That is what's in the chest.
Well, looks like we found the clothes. Did we find anything else interesting, gang?
I'm going to use my Bluetooth from outside.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, is there anything in his kitchen that we can use for our journey across the ocean? Like dried meats, dried fruits, anything shelf stable?
I will check.
I'll check.
All right, roll investigation checks. Investigation would be your intelligence score, I believe.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah. As you are picking your way through the pantry, you do find some dried rations. Looks like he actually had a couple bundles of stuff made up already, like jars of pickles, hard cheese, hardtack, dry meat. You reckon in the event that he ever had to boogie the fuck out, he had some bundles of food made up so that he could do that easily. Looks like kind of like pre-packed daily meal type things in a basket. So you can seize that. It looks like it'd be rations for one for about 2 weeks. Or for the whole gang, you guys could probably get, a couple meals out of it. Or a couple days worth out of it, I should say. What did you roll?
I rolled a 10.
Rolled a 10. Okay. Does anyone want to roll me a perception check before you guys leave? And for the people out on the street, roll me a perception check as well.
I can do
How
that.
Of his stuff is in here. Like, is there enough stuff that like we could take all of it and kind of make it look like he just took off?
Just chuck it in the bag of holding.
So is it? It's
Rolling hot tonight.
You would add your ability modifier to it.
Except for wisdom.
Yeah, so total 13. Did anybody? Oh yeah, Erdan, you did. Erdan, as you guys are starting to step out, you do notice something that catches your eye. You almost didn't see it before, right? But it just catches your eye. Down by the edge of the bookshelf, it does look like the edge of the molding.
Let's see, Candace.
What?
Twice.
Oh,
Sneezing.
okay. It looks like the edge of the molding looks like it's kind of warped a little bit. And there's like you can almost peek behind it. Like it's kind of sticking out from the wall a little bit. For the people that are outside, we got a 21 from Rizwin. What did we get from Gander?
A 14.
Okay. Rizwin, as you are outside with Gander, you guys do you notice people just walking past, paying heed or paying attention to their own business. They don't seem to be causing any trouble. The only thing that like catches your eye as being like maybe that's weird or maybe that's nothing is a raven lands like on one of the lampposts in the street that has a torch on it, and it just seems to just be chilling there, but like it doesn't seem to be like looking for food or anything like that. It just perched up in this place where it's kind of just staring right in y'all's direction. Erdan, did you want to investigate the hidey hole looking spot that you just found?
Yeah, I take out a crowbar.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to pry like the small warped part. I'm just going to try to dig it in and pry it open.
Sure thing. You managed to pull back the wood on that. I'm not going to even make you roll for that. It's just a plank of wood. And there appears to be like a mouse hole, right? Like think of Tom and Jerry, that little hole in the wall big enough for a mouse to be inside. It seems weird that he tried to put a piece of wood over it. Maybe he has a mouse problem. Who knows? I'm going to say that you could try to investigate it, but I mean, you would have to get down and peek in.
I'm actually, it's been a while since I've read up on the language for Find Familiar, and I actually don't even know where Caper is at this moment, if he was off flying somewhere.
Oh yeah, I guess you didn't tell me what you wanted to do with Caper.
I wasn't sure. I'm not 100% sure where he is. I'd have to probably look back a lot.
I mean, you can just call him to you at any time, because you're familiar.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to find the spell's language here, and I feel like I can change Caper's form, or does that require me doing a ritual?
You can convert him into another form, but I think the ritual takes like an hour, or
okay. So
minutes.
it is a ritual to convert him to something else. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna spend an hour to turn him into a spider to have him go down there. But I'll get, you know, I'll get down on my hands and knees and lay down on the floor and try to look in through the hole.
I could always change into something small and just pop on in. I mean, I haven't
True.
had, yeah, I don't have any other real reason to use my wild shaping. So,
I forgot about Druid.
Yes. Yeah, that druids can literally turn into animals. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm going to go. Nira, I found a hole. I have no clue what's down there. I was wondering if you could take a look.
Of course. Glad to help. So how do I just,
You just say it.
I just,
What animal do you want to turn into?
I didn't know there's
You get 2 turns. You can
So-
do it twice a day. So,
Okay. We're like extra rusty right now, so thank y'all for bearing with me.
or you
always.
can use your fun mask to combine 2 animals and be a weird little hybrid.
I don't think I need to be a kangable.
A mouse spider.
Little jackalope goes into the hole, catches his antlers on the hole.
Just kidding.
Anyway, so what do you want to turn into?
I mean, I think if it's a mouse hole, right? A mouse is probably a good.
Woof! Tiny little mouse, where Nero used to stand.
So I'm gonna go ahead and scamper myself on into the hole, and I'm gonna roll a perception check, see what's going on in there. That is gonna be, I'm gonna call that a 12.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's not, even without a roll, it's not hard for you to figure out what's going on here. The hole is just a straight line that goes in, but it goes in quite a ways. Like you wouldn't be able to just like reach your arm in there. You would need either a thing or a mouse, right? Deep inside this hole, a good, I'd say 5 or 6 feet, there is a bundle of something. Looks like a sack. And it does have a little metal ring on it that looks like maybe it was stuffed in here and could be grabbed out with like a hook or a chimney poker or something like that. But I imagine if you got your little mouse teeth around it, you could probably try and yank it out. The way a dog does when they're playing tug of war.
I'm not gonna demonstrate that for you guys, but
Why not?
why not? Stitches, Greg. Stitches. Okay.
Oh,
Any other time I'm down to clown, but stitches. So I hook my little mouse paws on that hook or on the ring rather, just kind of shimmy my way back out.
So what you guys see goes right into the hole, and then you hear, and then the sound of something, and then you see a little tail come twitching out of the hole, and then a little brown mouse butt, and then walking backwards, pulling this thing as if it's a library cart, just like dragging it. It's little Nira mouse. By the way, wild shape lasts an hour unless you dismiss it. You can totally choose to just stay being a mouse for a while.
I fucking might.
And there is a satchel. It looks kind of like a messenger bag sort of deal. It had a ring on the outside of it that looks like I said, if someone were to reach in there with a long stick that had a hook on the end and pull, presumably that's something. This was an additional little hidey hole. And inside said messenger bag is a decent amount, not like pounds worth, right? A mouse wouldn't have even been able to drag that, but like several vials of different colored powders. There's one that's kind of yellow, there's one that's more of a bluish hue, there's one that's red, and the red one looks strikingly familiar. It looks a lot like the drugs that you guys had found that
Magical
James
cocaine.
pushing or was attempting to sell.
Yo, this dude's a dealer.
Tomlin either is dealing or he has a problem and he only gets to it when shit gets rough, or he needs it.
Ads.
Huh?
He said present tense as a problem.
We actually have a problem in our bag of holding.
That is fair.
That problem.
Also pretty
I mean,
ironic.
who knows? I don't know the mechanics of the afterlife. in your world.
Interesting thought here, guys. Drug addict was killed by AA.
Hey, it's a cure. We cured him.
Yes, he took 12 steps into the afterlife. Anyway,
Fuck.
so moving right along. Yeah, so it looks like he has. There are 5 different vials. There is a red one, a yellow one, a bluish one, a greenish one, and one that is kind of just silvery. That's 5, right? Yeah, red, blue, green, yellow, silvery. And they are in this satchel that seemed to be like his, even beyond the secret dragon cult mask and robes or whatever, this was the thing he was like, no, I'm just gonna hide this, hide my drugs. But you guys have turned this place upside down. It seems like you have everything that you need.
Can we kind of clean out his personal effects to make it look like he skipped town?
Sure.
So
Just-
just like the books and any knickknacks.
Stick
that
them all in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, just strip the place bare, pull the sheets off the bed.
Yeah.
I'll write a little letter that just says, "I'm sick of this town and I left. Goodbye, Toblin."
Sure, that seems realistic. So yeah, you guys ransack the place. You have your run of it now. It looks like he trapped the door and he trapped the chest, but you didn't find any other traps, because living in a house full of booby traps is a really bad idea, especially if you're on drugs. But in any case, that's all there is to that. To our people on the outside, this raven continues to watch for a brief amount of time, and then flies away.
Can I bring that to Chris's attention? Like, can I point it out because I'm the one that rolled the perception, or did she also see it?
Oh no, I mean you could have called it out to her.
Okay, all right. So we have a raven friend. Yeah. So it didn't make any noise. It just flew. It was gone.
No, yeah, it landed rather silently and watched. I guess I shouldn't say it flew away and not give you a chance to respond to it. This raven landed on the light post across the street from where you guys are going, and instead of like looking around for food or squawking as ravens tend to do, this one just kind of sat silently and just watched where you guys are standing.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm just going to bring that to Gander's attention, and then we're just going to hang out and wait for everybody to come back.
Yeah, it seems a little sketch.
I don't really have anything I could do. Like, I don't have any cantrips or anything that would block it from observing us, so I guess it gets to observe.
Yeah, we should probably just tell everybody else, because that bird doesn't seem normal.
Try to look inconspicuous. Like,
Yeah, somebody else got themselves a black Erdan.
My
What?
favorite drink.
you try rolling some dice or
You mean caper?
Caper, I do mean caper. I might be a little drunk. I'm sorry. I had some Jameson.
That's totally fair.
You
Oh,
were
Jameson's
posting
here.
about whiskey earlier.
Say what?
You were posting online about whiskey earlier, so that makes sense.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
I like
Look good.
whiskey. What can I say?
look good.
All right, guys. So you all exit the apartment. The raven flutters away. Doesn't seem to have bothered anyone. Just seems to be landing on places, landed and checked out what was going on for a little bit there.
I'm going to relay to the group, like, hey, Riswin and I saw this raven. It could be nothing, but I thought it was a little suspicious. So just like keep your eyes out. And if anybody sees a raven again, like call it out because it could be suspicious.
Sounds good.
All right. And you guys have done what you're doing. Now, the question before y'all is, at this point, I imagine you guys are probably going to turn in, although if you have other plans for the rest of the evening, do let me know. What do you guys plan on doing with the information that you have now gathered about this cult meeting that is coming up in a little under a month? Are you handing this over to the king and the guard, the guard and whatnot, or do you plan on attending this thing yourselves?
We only have one robe and mask, right?
Yeah, there's just the one.
Can we get to Fogo for the funeral and then get back in time for the cult meeting? That is the question.
You could, especially if it only, like, if you're sailing up and down the coast as opposed to coming inland and going by land, you can make it from the Isle of Fogo to the capital in just over 24 hours of sailing. You know what I mean? By ship, it's a lot quicker because, you don't have to stop. You can go through the night. So you could presumably sail up to Fogo, spend some time there, and then sail back in time for this meeting. If shit doesn't end up with you guys stuck on Fogo for a while or something else comes up.
I would propose a multi-pronged approach. We should inform the king of what we've discovered, but not tell him about the robe and the mask that we've acquired, leaving us an option to use it later.
I like it.
Okay.
That sounds like a pretty comprehensive plan. I'll go for that.
Yeah,
And then we go
sounds
to the funeral.
And then what?
And then we go to the funeral.
Sounds good. Are you guys, do you guys want to handle this by going to the king yourself, or do you want to just kind of send a message via courier?
Do we trust the people around the king to get this message to him without it being intercepted?
Do we trust the king to go back into his presence after we got out?
Yeah,
Well,
I think we did good the last time we saw him.
yeah, but that's kind of like after we dealt with the situation. This is like we're risking our options later by informing now.
Or we could, if it becomes an issue later, we could always say we sent a message like, oh, we tried to tell you. Sorry that the people around you are scumbags and held that message up. Oops. I don't know. If this is the king I'm remembering where it was like, we got to get out of Dodge before everything sort of falls apart. Like, I don't want to go back. If I'm remembering correctly, because I feel like we've interacted with a lot of different authority figures.
Yeah, no, the king himself seems like the kind of guy who is trying to do a difficult job, but in that is maybe less concerned about, like, he's you know, he's listening to the merchants. He's got the nobles to deal with. Like he seems to have issue with the fact that he's been getting a lot of people complaining to him about goblins. So his thought process.
Personally, I'd like to get Tup Tup the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Before we lose our goblin.
Because again, I agree, he didn't seem like a bad dude, but he also seemed like he's going to do what he has to do to keep his kingdom safe at all costs. And if that means, you know, we become the bad guy, I don't think he'd feel bad about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that, and it basically seemed like, hey, I'm getting a lot of gruff from rich people right now, so I got to deal with this goblin problem, as opposed to, like, you know, doesn't seem like an ideal. Are you okay? All right, just sneezed and still recovering from surgery, so sneezes are bad. So yeah, if you guys want to send a note, you can do that. If you guys want to go visit him in person and ask for an audience, you could do that. Did you change out of being a mouse, or are you still a mouse?
I'm still a mouse.
Okay. That is also a thing that you have in your repertoire, that you are a mouse for the next hour. It's up to you guys how you want to handle it. If you want to literally just send a letter, you can do that as well.
I vote for that and get Tup Tup out of here so he can be safe.
All right. Yeah, let's write a nice letter and go back to the little tavern thing and sleep before we go out on the seas.
Tup Tup, were you about to say something, buddy?
Just that I've never felt so cared for. It's different, you know?
You're one of us now, bud.
Yeah, we don't want you to die.
One of us.
And to just think, it was less than like 2 weeks ago. You guys bound and gagged me, and now we're all...
That's how we make friends, don't you know?
It feels like I've known you guys for like a year.
My best friends, anyway.
Oh, that's called the Stockholm Syndrome.
Is that named after the famous wizard Jedediah Stockholm?
No, it's after Mr. Syndrome.
Manipulate them.
Oh God.
Don't worry. Once you see the library, you'll want to stay.
He had that gaslighting spell. Modify memory. You know the one? Anyway. That's a real spell. Anyway. So I guess we're going to turn in for the night and send a letter and go on a boat. I've never been on a boat.
Boats can be super fun, my bro.
Ah! Goblin on a boat. Look at me.
Ooh. Wow. How much did you have to drink, Tup Tup?
So much.
Yeah, we're going to bed. Tup Tup's a little hammered.
Nah, Tup Tup.
It's a Pokemon now. Okay.
Remember when Tup Tup only spoke in third person? I'm learning. So anyway, you guys are able to return to the Thirsty Vagrants to turn in for the night and get a long rest in before the next day's activities. Lillian is there. She seems to be one of those people that works from open to close. You don't know when she gets a chance to actually sleep. She you know, you come in, just little bags under the eyes, just kind of sweeping the floor from the night's activities. Oh, if it's not some of my favorite customers come back, are you ready to turn in for the night?
Lil, you look like hell, my dude.
Oh, it's first frost. You know, I love it, but good Lord, it really takes the wind out of you. Whew.
Well, if we're the last ones in here and we're keeping you up, we'll go to bed so that you can go to bed.
Oh, that's very kind of you. It is about time, I think, to turn off the lights and head to bed.
Good night, Lillian.
Good night to you, Miss Gander.
We'll see you in the mornings.
Fun. And she does her nightly duties of shutting the place down, and you guys can get a long rest. Is anyone doing anything over the long rest?
Sleeping.
I guess Bark will take a moment to read some more of the book
Okay.
before
Yeah, go ahead.
before he turns in fully.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
4, because it's a critical miss.
Okay, that was a nat 1. Steve. Bark, as you are looking through the book, you come across a page that contains the symbol of Bellerophon, the triangle and the circle. But it's weird. It's filled with these strange runes and different lines and whatnot. And as you are staring at this symbol, it starts to mess with, you almost get like a sense of vertigo. Like the page, you know you're looking at a flat page, but it almost seems to like draw out as you're staring at this thing. I am going to need you, actually, give me 1 second to check on something before I ask you to do something. You are looking at this and it's confusing. You can almost hear like voices in your head as you are reading this crazy looking spell, or these spell-like runes, I should say. And you feel yourself lurch forward and tip almost as if into the pages of the book. And then you feel yourself hit hard on a ground that is peculiar because it's not grass and it's not cobblestone. It almost looks like wood pulp. And all around you are these tall, crazy tall black walls that are, it's weird to describe. It doesn't look like stone. It doesn't look like wood. To you, you would swear that these walls were made out of charcoal, and they are massive. And you have no idea where you are right now. But there are paths ahead of you. And looking around, you see several bones, like full, and when I say bones, I mean like full-on skeletons of different peoples. Most of them appear to be scholars, just judging by their clothing. A couple appear to be maybe even like merchants, like they have richer clothes, but it looks like they've been here so long that if you touched them, they would turn to dust. This place has the feel of ancientness to it. It has a very old feel to it. You are currently in a maze. Now, I am going to need you to roll me an intelligence. Let me see, is it a check or a saving throw?
Not even that.
Check. I need you to roll me an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh dear.
Okay. You wander the maze. You wander and wander, and it feels like no sun, no moon, there is no sky above you. You just wander for what it feels like, who knows, hours, days. You don't get hungry, so it can't have been that long. You don't get thirsty. You don't get sleepy, but it feels like it's been so long that you've just been wandering these halls. You can't, you almost can't tell until you finally end up looped back around to the place that you were at the start. And at this point, you know you have been in this place for months, if not longer. You have been wandering aimlessly for an amount of time that is unfathomable to you, because there is no day, there is no night, there is no sleep or eat or using the restroom. It is just wandering aimlessly. You return and you see those same bones that you saw when you first entered the maze. And you get the vibe that you may have been wandering for a year now. Roll me another intelligence check.
And we never see you again.
19.
The halls go on and on and on, and it's so hard for you to find your way. We are going to, I'm going to say something right now that is going to be difficult for you to deal with, Bark. I am going to need you to keep rolling the intelligence checks until you hit a 20.
Oh,
Because you have a +0 to intelligence, and the DC to escape the maze spell is a DC 20 intelligence check. So I'm going to need you to just keep rolling. The good news is you can just keep rolling for as long as you need to. The bad news is each one of these failed checks is representing a year of time you have spent lost in this maze. Continue to roll.
oh my.
Another year passed. Another year passed. One more. Time's just slipping away. It has no meaning at this
Are we
point.
at 6?
It's 1, 2,
I feel like DJ Khaled. Another one.
5, 6,
You haven't
7.
spoken to anyone in years.
Thank you, Ian. I heard you.
So it occurs to me that maybe I could sit down and think about my father and kind of like call out to him.
Okay.
After 6 years?
I mean, it honestly before I started rolling, but
Obviously,
fine.
his intelligence is 0. So, you know,
It's
that
+0.
It's
plus
average.
0.
Average.
Average.
Well, I mean, he's trying to, and hey, you know what? The other thing is, the only time you've ever encountered your father has been when you have been sleeping, and you haven't felt the need to sleep at all. Nothing in your body feels like it's changed at all. But you have felt like you have been lost in this maze for how many years now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years is how long you feel like in your bones, being a ranger, being outside, knowing the passage of time. You feel like you've been here for like 6 years. You try to reach out to, and you know what? We can start doing this. You try to reach out to your to someone, right? To maybe to your father or to someone. Roll me roll me a check and just roll a d20 and I'll see what I can do with it.
Oh,
Okay. You just can't fall asleep, and you don't know how to reach out to him otherwise. So
Okay.
you're just gonna have to keep rolling. So close. Mathematically speaking, you'll get there eventually. But all the while, Bark is spending years and years in absolute solitude, maddening solitude.
fuck.
And he's the type of person that likes being alone, but this is devastating loneliness. He's finally learned to let his guard down around other people. He met a girl. He met a girl that might have liked him years ago. Who knows if any of your friends are still alive? There's no way to know. There's absolutely no way to know.
That's a season wrap on Bark.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting once we finally.
Is this your way of working? Is this your way of working lockdown into our session, dude?
No, this is what happens when you roll a nat 1 trying to read the book. And you, there it is.
Oh.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 plus 6.
16, what?
Plus
Plus
6.
6.
Oh, okay. So that is 22 years.
Oh my god.
Bark, to you, it feels as though 22 years have passed. Hang on. So total of 22 times 6 would be 12. Carry 1, 6, 12. 132. Bark, you snap to all of a sudden, and you realize, just kind of get a sense that you are still sitting there. That book is sitting in front of you, and maybe a little more than 2 minutes have passed. But you have the memory. You have the fully it wasn't a dream. It was digging at the walls until your nails splintered. It was choosing maybe a year or two to just sit down and pray to God that you can fall asleep. It's moving so much that your feet have blisters and you're ripping your own hair out from anxiety, and your clothes are just terrible, you know? And now you snap to, and you look at the I mean, there's not a clock on the wall, but you look around and the room looks unchanged that you are in. And a wave of exhaustion sweeps over you like you have not ever felt in your life. For the first time in 22 years, you can finally fall asleep.
And he does.
And you dream a dreamless night black sleep. Anybody else want to do anything in the meantime?
So what is Bart doing for this 2 minutes of, because we're all in the room with him, right?
Well, you guys had all retired to your room.
Oh, okay.
And to you guys, it looked like he started reading a book and nodded off. And then, you know, like snapped awake after 2 minutes. Yeah, he fell asleep reading a book, whatever.
Okay. So it's not like he was just...
He fell victim to what is called the maze spell. It is an 8th level spell that banishes you to a maze of which you cannot escape unless you roll a DC 20 intelligence check. The spell lasts for 10 minutes. So the high end of what that could have been was hundreds of years that he was trapped in there, because what you think about it is every 6 seconds is considered a round, right? So you use your action. So how many 6-second time frames are there in 10 minutes? That was the upward limit. In any case, That just happened. Does anybody else do anything, or are you all getting your sleep?
Sleeping.
Sleep.
Sleeping.
I gotta tell you.
Gander can't sleep.
Oh, that's right. You are having some trouble sleeping.
Yep. I'm
You're
wide
waiting to
awake.
bring that maze on me, weren't you?
Only if you rolled a nat 1, brother. A nat 1 means you come across the page of the mad demon that has, like, he trapped it up, bro. It's a book of demon shit. But maybe something good will happen if you're rolling at 20. We'll see. I will tell you right now, because you have already fallen prey to that, you won't fall prey to it again. You know that if you happen across that particular page, in fact, you might choose to, I don't know, draw all over that page with your eyes closed or something, but you will not fall victim to that trap again. Someone else might,
Okay.
but you know better now.
What would have happened if the full 10 minutes had gone by?
Nothing. You would have come awake 10 minutes later, but the amount of insanity that Bark might be under would be far greater. In fact, we're going to have to deal with that because that amount of solitude plays like, I don't know who Bark is going to be when he wakes up, is what I'm saying. Just bear that in mind.
Yep.
All right, gang. I know that was intense, but we're in a game full of magic and demons and shit. The morning light comes and everyone awakens except Bark, who seems to be in a coma. He is sleeping the sleep of the dead. He's breathing, you know he's alive. But it seems like no matter what noise you guys make in getting ready, he is out.
Somebody want to carry Bark? I think he's I don't know what he did.
Did he drink more than we realized? He must be majorly hungover.
Must have drank a lot.
Or if you try to pick him up, do you think he's gonna start swinging?
Let's let Windsor lick him in the face and see if he'll wake up.
Then maybe lick his feet, just in case.
That's a good idea.
Chris, roll me an animal handling check to see if you can have Windsor lick Bark where you want him to lick him.
All right, hang on.
Does anybody else's cats
18,
lick their...
bitches!
18. Yeah, no, Windsor walks over and starts licking Bark's feet. Bark, you tell me, man, do you wake up? Like, does that sensation rouse you?
I don't think it would with the level of exhaustion that I'm at.
But for the record, I'm not actually giving you levels of exhaustion because it's more mental than physical strain.
Right,
But-
like I think Bark feels it, but he doesn't feel the like mental strength to wake yet.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, man, that dog is licking his feet, but he kind of just groans and rolls over. He is out.
Like in between the toes and everything.
Yeah, just really getting in there.
So then he goes to lick his face.
Can we kick him? Like at this point, is it we're at the like point of pouring water on him and stuff?
We'll do that.
Just
I feel
put
like
him in the bag of holding for a little bit and see what
That
happens.
Someone's dead body.
Oh, that's right, air. Forgot
Air.
about the air.
Oh, hey, let's grab some breakfast and let him sleep it a little bit, and then we'll come back and maybe he'll be ready to wake up.
Yeah, isn't Gander cooking?
Flapjackas.
Yeah, I did. That's right. I did tell Lillian that I would make breakfast this morning, didn't I?
Okay.
I
As long
forgot
as
about
he's
that.
fine that we're still kind of in the room. We can leave him a note so that he knows where we are when he
Yeah.
wakes up.
And we'll try to save him some breakfast.
Yeah, so you guys all head down and make some breakfast. Chris, you know what that means? Everybody gets their special. Is it temporary hit points?
Yes.
Yeah, and that what is it? Temporary hit points equal to your level or
Equal to your level. Yep.
Okay. So, everyone gets temporary hit points equal to the character level, which I think is 6. You guys are still level 6?
Yep.
Bark, you can, I will say at this point, whenever you feel prepared to get out of bed, you have the option to do so. Your body is actually physically fine. But again, whatever that did to your mind is up to you.
Let me do, like, I feel like I should leave this up to chance a little bit, as to whether, like, every minute that goes by while they're eating, if he gets, like, mentally clear of it.
Okay. By the way, I don't know if it was clear, but you were inside the book.
Oh.
The walls.
I caught that.
Yeah, the walls were. Yeah.
Where
Okay.
the chalk writing, the pulp
Yeah.
wood was the page. The maze was the demon shaped thing.
I didn't know if that was clear.
Okay.
So like
Yeah,
you didn't.
I think probably what I'll do is, like, groggily come down the stairs or whatever, pretty much right as they're finishing up breakfast.
Bark!
Hey, buddy, I saved you some breakfast.
Oh my god. You guys, where have you been? I missed you.
I missed you too, man.
I think he'd probably do one of those, like, wrist handshakes with Fleur right there.
Predator handshake.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of want to pull him in, but, like, doesn't just yet.
Like, yeah, I almost ate your pancakes, but I left them for you.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I haven't eaten in ages.
Well, there's plenty, so eat up.
All right. When is it?
Morning.
Yeah, but we're here.
Mm-hmm.
But when is now?
After last night.
Which was
yesterday, the end of yesterday. we are on a journey. We don't know each other as well yet. It's been a few weeks since we've all been on this road.
But what did we do yesterday?
The fucking
the
fucking ice festival? Is that First Frost? First Frost.
Oh.
Was that?
That was yesterday?
Yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Bark, what's up, buddy?
All my troubles seem so far.
I'm not sure how to express this. It doesn't seem real, but I feel as though we're lost for, how long was it?
22 years.
Line. Okay, thank you. 22 years.
Line. So good.
Okay, well, I don't know what you had for nightcap, but you're not allowed to have that again. So here's your breakfast.
Can we? I really need to eat this. Can we talk about this later?
Of course.
Yeah.
Blark just shovels this food in his face as if, like, he had never seen food before.
When the smell of food hits your nose just coming into this room, your stomach growls, and you realize that you haven't heard your stomach growl or you haven't smelled food in decades. The taste on your tongue is so overpowering. I mean, obviously it tastes good, but it's so overpowering because you realize I haven't tasted anything but the inside of my own mouth in longer than, like, you know, a child grows to be a man. You know what I mean? You haven't tasted food. It is a wild experience.
I didn't bring my toothbrush with me.
Weirdo.
So Bark is consuming these, what is it, pancakes, and just like you can see utter like contentment and joy in his face. How damn, there are literal tears going down his face, and you can see them kind of like peeking through the helmet. And he's in bliss right now.
Guys, did somebody give him something from one of those vials that we found last night?
I know. Did you sample the wares we found in Tomlin's?
I think at this point, Bark is starting to feel really full and doesn't quite understand why. It makes no sense. But he looks up and he's like, no. I was reading the book that I got from Baba Yaga, and I was sucked in by one of the pages. And I think it was only a few minutes here, but I was there alone with the bones of others for 22 years. And I don't know how I know, because there was no way to mark the passing of time, but like my memory is, it felt like 22 years. I haven't heard another's voice, seen a living thing for what is, for some creatures, an entire lifetime.
Does Bark look aged?
What?
Did she ask if you looked aged?
Could I possibly roll some form of like insight check to see if I believe him, or to see what I can
Sure.
read? Insights. I don't have a great insight. Only an 8.
I mean, it's hard to tell, I guess. He could be trying to pull a fast one on you.
Have I ever heard of something that could have done something similar to what he's talking about?
Roll a history or an arcana check.
Hi, Baba.
Arcana 24.
You have heard of some very powerful fuck around magic. Like this is the type of stuff that most wizards will never learn, right? Level 8th and 9th level magic. And you have heard tell of spells that can warp reality for someone, right? Be that like the fabled wish, or true resurrection, where someone is literally brought back from the dead. There are spells out there that rework reality, and he's reading a demonic tome. It's possible that he tapped into some kind of magic that time for him moved differently, or time in his mind, like it was a prison of the mind. It's impossible to tell. But for a fact that shit like that does exist.
Do I also know if there's any magic that could erase a memory that long?
Therapy, man. You ever heard of the therapy spell?
Wait,
no,
I go to a therapist and they they flash my memory?
No, I guess I would have to look at the wording of modify memory, but I think you can only modify up to a year of someone's memory. If you cast it at like a 9th level, you know what I mean? I don't think you can rewrite 22 years of someone's memories, because he remembers, right? It's not like to you it was hazy like a dream. It was vivid like it is in the real world, right? It was painful. It was exhausting. It was a nightmare experience. It was a trap that a demon left in a book because it's funny to him.
Yeah, man, I feel you. That's why I don't read.
Well,
I would refrain on making any jokes in this particular occasion because it's very possible that exactly what he is describing did actually happen. And I'm guessing most of you have known loneliness at some point in your life, but not solitude. Not to that enormity. I'm sorry, Bark. I
thank you,
can't
Oda.
imagine what you've gone through. I'm sure the pancakes are delicious.
They are quite good.
They are.
Gander, can you make them again tomorrow?
Sure, buddy. I'll make as many as you want.
Thanks.
Or we may not understand, but if there's anything we can do to help, anything we can do to ease it, we're here.
That's the most important thing for you to know. You might have been alone in that maze, but you're not alone now. You've got us. And we'll be here with you, okay?
I don't think that would have brought me comfort before. But now it does. And I appreciate that you are all here with me.
You're our friend. You're our family. That's what family does. We might be a weird, dysfunctional little family, but we've sort of bonded.
We have.
Hey.
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 So where's this book?
I keep it in my travel pack.
Do we need to keep it anymore?
Well, I think we do, because the last time I read it, I met my father. And I guess I was hoping to do that again. It didn't quite work this time.
The loss of one's family of origin is never easy. Know that we feel that too.
I never thought I'd meet him. But he told me about my mother as well. She's alive.
Cool.
And she has a new family.
How do you feel about that?
I guess I'm happy for her. Probably wouldn't have been easy to stay with me.
Well, you can know a thing, but knowing it doesn't make it sting less. And of course, it may be wonderful for her that she has that now, but that doesn't change the impact for you. And that is just as real and valid. So you're allowed to feel that.
I make Bark a cup of tea and swirl in some maple syrup and push it across the table to him. Here, drink this. It's like a hug from the inside out.
I think that sounds nice. He drinks it down.
Well, let's all stop staring at him, but continue to let us know what you need, and we will hold space as you need it to process.
Thank you. Out of character. That's a very genuine Riley thing. This is, oh my goodness. I may need him now.
What is a very Riley thing?
We're gonna hold space for you here. You need it, and I literally teared up a little bit there when we were acting that out. So I'm feeling it. Here.
That's great, guys.
I hope you don't feel like I cut you too soon.
It only took you 22 years.
Yeah, we can do that if you need like a sharing circle. I'll get the fucking steak. Like, I'll fuck around with feelings. We'll smudge. We'll write letters and burn them. We'll do this shit.
Remember,
Fucking Grace and Frankie in this bitch. I don't play, but as you need it. So like, you let us know. Sorry.
No. It's great.
remember that time you guys played D&D so hard you cried? That's what I fucking love. That's what I want.
Well, you were the only one tearing up, Steve. I look at Ben and he's just like, these guys, look at him. Just look at him go. It's like a proud dad face. I see it when you look at your kids too. It's beautiful.
Well, there was a combination of that and me trying to not break the tension by pointing out the fact that you guys are a bunch of people crying while eating pancakes and talking about family issues like white ladies at brunch.
Middle of the tavern. Like,
what's Lillian doing this entire time?
What?
Yeah, what do you think my life is?
Lillian's like sitting off to the side, like trying not to cry.
Oh no, I covered breakfast so Lillian could sleep in. Lillian's not even there.
Oh right, okay.
Oh yeah, like, when you guys got up, Lillian was there, and Gander just gave her a look, and she was like, "Oh!" and like scampered back off to bed.
Sounds right.
Now, Tup Tup walks over to Gander, kind of pulls on your sleeve, and it's like, "So, I don't know if this is like a dick thing for me to say, but like, we still get to go on a boat today, right?"
Tup Tup, I love you. Yeah, I think we're probably still gonna go on a boat. Are we? Okay, let's regroup, guys.
I want to go on a boat ride. Like, that sounded heavy, but like, I was really excited for that boat ride.
Bark, do you need to deal with anything? Like, we can adjust plans. Tup Tup, eventually you will get your boat ride. So just chill the fuck out.
No, it's okay. I'm kind of looking forward to being stuck on a boat with you guys for a while.
Okay. All right, Tup Tup, you're getting your boat ride.
Tup Tup, fuck yeah!
Tup Tup, can you swim?
Oh, hell no. I've never.
Great, we've got a barbarian and a goblin who can't swim. Okay, show of hands, who knows how to swim?
At this point, you can fully turn into like an aquatic creature.
Yeah, worst case scenario, Gander, I'll just and like dive off the boat. We're good. I'm not worried. I didn't see.
Are you kidding me? We can make it there in half a day. We get on the boat, you turn into a whale, we hook you up with some rope, and you just and haul butt. And
I will octopus and make 8 little propeller tentacles and just cracking us all the way to the. Yeah.
You can do like octopus and a shark.
Yeah, we'll be there by this afternoon.
What?
I understand.
Boy, they.
A weird seizure?
We all have our skills, Gander. We all contribute somehow. I can't cook for shit, but damn it.
Well,
oh, it's gonna be a long trip.
For the record,
it doesn't have to be.
Gander also does have a pair of magical pipes that if she plays them, she can cast the control water spell.
That's true.
But it requires a DC 15 performance check. But that could speed you along, get a big, water swell behind you. So I'd say that if you were to use magic, you guys could probably cut down your sailing time to Fogo. Although realistically, it's not like you're in any kind of a rush.
Yeah.
The funeral at this point is probably like 10 or 12 days away. And regular sailing there is a little more than 24 hours, like maybe like 30 hours.
Oh.
It's just sailing up the coast.
Well, fun.
Well, why should we rob Tup Tup of his little adventure? Let's just go.
We will let him be king of the world.
Woo! And then Tup Tup reaches into his pants and pulls out a bottle of beer you guys did not know he had. Pops the top with his goblin claws, just like, yeah!
Oh my God, Tup Tup. It's a little early for you to be getting hammered today, bro.
Boat day!
Somewhere.
Oh my
Who is
God.
responsible for ensuring the goblin doesn't become an alcoholic?
Boat day!
I think that ship has sailed.
Well, he needs to empty that out so we can christen our new boat.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to waste the beer.
Guys, you christen a boat with a full bottle. Oh my
It's not like an empty bottle.
Don't worry,
Hey,
by the time we get over to the docks, I'll need to pee.
Tup Tup, you're gross, but I love you. Let's go.
We will let him christen the bottle.
If you
with
need
his-
a full bottle, I'm just saying, I'm Tup
What are
Tup.
we gonna name the boat?
Use the
We're
bottle
gonna name it
with your leavings.
like Bob.
Well, if Tup Tup christens it with his piss, we can name it the USS Piddlepot. Jesus. Oh.
I'm just saying that Tup Tup is going to fill this to the tip top, and then and we can get out on the water. I mean,
God,
technically, we'll be filling it with beer. Just it's gone through a process.
Jesus Christ, Tup Tup.
I said processing, Tup Tup. I didn't mean piss.
Okay,
Oh, Maria.
I guess it must just be some say tomato, some piss in a bottle. Anywho, come on, Windsor. They don't understand us.
Oh,
Tup Tup's gonna try and roll an animal handling check for Windsor.
is he seriously going to try to ride my dog?
It's a 13. It's not terrible.
Okay.
The dog is like, like, okay.
So help me if that goblin starts riding my dog.
No, the funny thing is that he totally could. He's the only member of the party that is considered small, and Windsor is considered medium. So he could actually use Windsor as a mount if you trained Windsor properly.
Interesting.
Fun fact.
The wheels are turning now. Wouldn't a goblin be more effective on a mount?
Get fucked! Anyway, so Now here's the thing, gang. We are about
Fire, come
to
out.
Badoja. You guys are about to leave the country. Is there anything else you want to do before you leave? Or is it time to head to the docks and head out?
Let's bounce.
Okay.
Nira, before we get on the ship, scoops a little bit of soil into a small vial and tucks it into her knapsack.
Okay. Very cool.
World.
And we can, I know you guys had said about sending a letter. We can say that you did that last night on the way back to, or as part of the overnight activities, if you guys want. We don't have to play out you guys writing a letter.
I think we should do it this morning so that by the time he gets it, we're gone.
That's fair. You guys can choose to write a letter on, you know what, a really good place is going to be for mail to come in? The docks, right? Stuff that comes in off of ships. So there's definitely a mail office down by the docks. Is there anyone else you wanted to visit? Anyone else we wanted to speak to? Or are you guys ready to get a moving?
Yeah, we should probably talk to, them people that do the boats and the tradings with the stuffs that we ran into the ice festival.
You mean Jameson and Leilani, his wife?
Yeah.
Our merchant guild is down by the docks because that's where the majority of the trading.
Talk to them, be like, hey, what's the situation? There any pirates? Anything we should take along? Is the big mouth bass and dolphins in season for catching, or
Lord. The pirates is a very good suggestion. Yes, we should do that.
Yeah, you guys can track them down if you want. Okay, is there anything else before we move on? Okay, so you guys head down to the merchant quarter down by the docks, and you once again end up at the facility that you had gone to with Jameson when you reunited him with his wife. As you enter, you see there's a front counter, and Leilani is there. She's going over some books. At this point, it's kind of mid-morning, and she's going over some books in a ledger. And she looks up and she goes, "Oh, I wasn't expecting to see you all so quickly after last night's activities. Did you all have fun at the festival?"
It was lovely, yes.
Delightful. I heard it got a bit rowdy after we left with Delilah.
It usually does.
Usually does. You're not wrong. I've never been much for parties. What can I do for you today?
We're actually headed out to Fogo. And we were wondering if you guys could give us any insights, tide changes, pirate report sightings, just the normal dockside intel on what's going on in the shipping lanes.
Well, it's getting a bit colder out, so be wary of that, especially sailing up to Fogo. You are you originally from Fogo?
Yes.
Then you would know how cold it gets up there, and the seas, especially at this time of year, can usually be rather calm. Right, we see more bad weather in the summer months, but it will be very cold. Getting up there, the sea spray and all that.
Have there been any reports of icebergs yet?
No, we haven't had. I don't imagine you would be going far north enough for that to be a problem, unless you're sailing to the farthest northern tip of Fogo. Occasionally there's some ice sheets up there, but most ships make landfall on the southern half of Fogo, where it's a little bit more arboreal and a little bit more temperate. you're not getting the crosswind up from the shard like you are in the north of Fogo.
Right.
Now, as far as problems at sea, thankfully, you won't be sailing down into Andalia unless you get hopelessly lost. So I don't imagine you would have to deal with any piracy. Although we have seen a bit of an uptake, and you often get this when it starts to get a bit colder out, of activity from Sahuagin. So just be mindful of that.
Spell that.
What do you mean by activity?
Well, Sahuagin tend to stay to themselves in their colonies, but occasionally, especially if they're riled up by something like a sea hag, they might attempt to rob a ship. Well, rob isn't the word. They might attempt to sink a ship and devour the inhabitants, the crew. But it's rare. It doesn't happen very often.
What do we know about them already? About the table, kind of. If we would have a reason to, right?
I mean, you guys probably have heard of them. Sahuagin are fish people. They are an aquatic race. They are actually relatively intelligent. They're considered to be more intelligent than like goblins even. But they are very alien because they live beneath the waves. And typically they just keep to themselves. But like she was saying, if, for instance, a sea hag manages to, or a coven of sea hags manage to like get some Sahuagins to be followers, then it can be a little bit like, go get them, my pretties type thing. So she's just letting you know that like when the weather gets colder, food's harder to find, Sahuagins might try to attack your ship. It's rare, but it happens. It's almost as if it would be a roll of the dice.
Gee, no one's gonna watch me as I do. I don't know what I'm doing with this lead, but it's certainly not getting buried. Don't look at me.
Ben, can you spell that race for me?
Sahuagin, S-A, I think it's Huagin. It is a D&D monster. It's not some bullshit I'm just making up on the spot.
Nailed it, if that's the spelling.
Huh?
Yeah, I think that's it. Okay.
Okay. Are you over here trying to figure out shit about them before you should?
No, I'm just trying to keep notes, and I like to spell things correctly.
That's fair. I'm mostly messing with you. Yeah, think like shark people.
He's got it in there. Toboggans. Watch out for the toboggan people.
Wearing their moccasins. Anyway, so yeah, she lets you know that like there have been, occasionally word of Sahuagin sightings. But usually people are fast enough to, outpace them. Or you throw a few barrels of fish overboard and they kind of get distracted by that and you go about your way. There are perils at sea, but there are perils at land too. So it is whatever you decide is the better course of action. Sea is faster, especially in the winter.
Very true. I have an idea, you guys. I just sort of like gestured at everybody. We should ask Jameson to identify the drugs in the bag. We know he sells them, so he would probably know what all the other colors are.
But would he then know where we got them? Perhaps he recognizes the vials or the bag that they're in. I would hate for us to have any uncomfortable scrutiny around how we came to procure such items. So we should probably be aware of that line of questioning should it arise.
So we don't show him. Leilani already mentioned that things got rowdy last night. We can say that, somebody offered us some drugs, but we didn't take them because we didn't know what they were, because they were different colors than we'd ever seen.
Because we don't do drugs.
I mean, but we do. Some of us do.
You know that.
So
I was gonna say, unless you know anybody on Phogos that might know what they are.
Fleur, I haven't. Let's just say I don't really have any contacts on Fogo anymore. You know what? Jameson likes me. Jameson trusts me. Let me just have a conversation with him real fast.
Well, how about you take the vials out of the bag and put them in your pocket? That way you're.
I'm
you
not
won't
even gonna say that I have the vials. I'm just gonna have a conversation with him.
Huzzah.
Okay. If you want to track down Jameson, he is actually not in this particular room, but Leilani does let you know that he is out. Like he should be down by the docks themselves, checking on shipments. She usually works the counter. He is more out and about, working in person.
Gotcha.
So you guys can head down to the docks, and sure enough, you do see like a kiosk almost down there, and within it there is a chair, and seated in said chair is Jameson. Delilah's nowhere to be found, but she's probably either at school or with a sitter or someone.
Cool. Jameson, my man, how you doing?
Oh, Miss Gander, it's a pleasure to see you.
It's always good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Oh, we had a good time taking Delilah out to the festival last night. Got some good rest. So, it's a bit chilly out today, but I'm ready to make some deals. What about yourself?
Oh, I've got a wicked hangover today, bro. Things got dicey. Well, they didn't get dicey. They got spicy after you left. So I wanted to stop by and pick your brain because I was sort of wishing that you were around, but then I was like, Delilah's a little young. So after you guys left, these guys came up and they offered us some of those drugs, the red powder. Don't worry, I didn't do it this time.
Voice.
All right, well, just shush. I want to ask you something because you know more about this shit than anybody I've ever met. So,
all right.
So let's just say that they asked me to taste the rainbow last night. They didn't just have the red stuff, and I was intrigued, but I didn't know what it was going to do to me, and I didn't want any repeats of last time when I tried the red stuff without knowing what it would do. So didn't do anything, but I was like, damn, I wish Jameson was around. You could have told me exactly what it was.
I mean, it was wise for you to not, right? Because arcane is heavy shit. It's I don't know how they make it, but it's more or less distilled magical essence. It has a known effect. For one, getting effect, it has a pretty significant side effect, right? It's made out of magic, and it can react in a weird way. Some people, they grow a beard made out of feathers, or they turn into a potted fucking plant, or they learn to fly, or they turn into a fucking fireball. I never touched this shit myself. It's too dangerous.
Well, I know, but what was the other stuff? Like, the only one I've ever seen is the red stuff. This stuff was like every color. It was yellow and silver and green. It was like crazy.
Like separately or mixed together?
No, like separately.
Okay, no, that's good. Because if it's mixed together, you're just gonna fucking die. It's too much. Your body can't fucking handle it. Separately. Okay, so what colors did you say you saw?
Oh gosh. Well, I know there was silver.
Right.
And I think there might have been like green or purple and blue. And there was a bright one. I think it was yellow. I don't know. I didn't get a real good look at them. I just knew it was like wicked rainbow cool. It looked really cool, but I remember what you said about the red stuff being dangerous. So.
Well, here's the thing about here's the thing about arcane. It is distilled magic and it's tied to different elements of nature, right? More so than like schools of magic. It's tied to the actual elements. So red is fire. Blue is water or ice. Let me think. I believe that yellow, like a goldish yellow, should be radiant, like light itself. And then silver, I believe, is lightning. And then if you happen to pop across green, that's the magic of nature, right? Life and all that. And purple is the magic of death, right? And the necrotic kind of. So usually what that can be channeled into, and someone pops back a few bumps of the stuff, is they either channel it into casting some sort of spell, or they channel it into just kind of doing shit involved with that kind of element.
I always learn so much from you, Jameson.
Right. But it's dangerous. It's dangerous stuff.
I remember you told me it was. So I actually had some self-control, believe it or not. Well, you know how I get when I have beer. But, you know, I was careful. I was just more curious than anything. So, curiosity won't kill this cat. Don't worry. I have to be a good example for Delilah.
Sorry. I'm having a bit of trouble understanding everything you're saying because a fucking cat just messed up my internet connection, and you sounded like a robot for like the last 10-20 seconds of what you were just saying. Did you mention Did you mention me daughter? I thought I heard me daughter's name in that.
Yes, I said don't worry. I won't do the stuff because I feel like I have to be a good example for Delilah now. It was more just curiosity than anything.
All right. Yeah, well,
you know I cook and I look at that stuff like spices. So I need to in the same way that you would use spices, you know, I'm curious about the origins. I'm curious about how it's used. I'm not going to do it, dude.
Yeah, well, if you're looking to spice up your pantry, I wouldn't suggest something that's made from pure magic and can cause you to freak out and turn into a fireball or get addicted, right? Which is also a problem.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, thank you. You always teach me so much, and I'm so glad to know you.
Absolutely. Roll me a deception check.
$14 again.
Okay. He knows you're lying because he just rolled a nat 20 on his insight, but I mean, he also knows what he's doing is illegal, so he's not going to give you a hard time about it.
Yeah. Well, Jameson, we're actually headed up to Fogo for a funeral, so we got to get going, but I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Safe travels. Be safe out there. You know, don't do anything that I wouldn't do.
I won't. Thank you. And give Delilah a hug for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have a ship? I could charter you one.
Actually, I do.
Oh, all right. Very good.
So, well, I guess I better go find my buds and make sure my goblin doesn't break a bottle of piss all over the dock. He's a little wild today.
Is that a dwarvish metaphor? Is that a euphemism?
No, I have an out of control goblin who's really excited about being on a boat, and he wants to christen it with a bottle of his piss.
Oh, you mean literal piss? I thought.
Yeah, literal piss. We're still working on his people skills.
I thought perhaps that was some kind of dwarven idiom, but
no, it's just a goblin idiot.
Fair enough. Well, enjoy, and again, be safe.
All right. Thanks, Jameson. Bye, bro.
Goodbye. And yeah, you guys group up, and well, there is an empty dock where which you could presumably summon the exploits, Gander's ship.
All right, let's do it. Let's summon the exploits. I forget how to do it.
As I recall, if I remember correctly, when I made this dumb item, you remove the pearl from the ring and you throw it into the water and it grows into a boat.
That's right. Okay. I take a deep breath because I'm really nervous about this because the ocean and I don't always have the best relationship. And I look at Tup Tup and I say, "Where's that bottle?"
Well, I know you were giving me a hard time before. Do you really want me to fill it?
No, I want you to get rid of it.
Oh, well, I didn't fill it yet because I didn't want to do anything that would make you upset.
Thank you. All right, guys, here we go. And I take the pearl out of the ring and I drop it off the side of the dock.
Bloop. Goes in the water, and Tup Tup leans over after a second when nothing happens and goes, I think you have to call out the name of the ship.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. Here, exploits. Come here, exploits.
The water mounts up like a boat, and the surface tension as it breaks, and a mast comes rising out of the water, and a hull behind it, and it kind of shoots up at an angle and then hits the water. You guys get splashed as water is just shot around the dock. And there, written across the side of the ship, the exploits. It is a ship. It is not very big, but it's big enough for you guys. The exploits has been summoned.
Not bad.
You hear sailors gasping all around. You even might hear Jameson in the background be like, "The fuck is that?"
And I'm just gonna wave at him and go, "I told you I had a ship."
Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, because all these people just saw a boat reverse sink is the only way they can. And yeah, it is wet, but it is a ship. It is ship shape, and it is ready to set sail whenever you guys are.
All right, all aboard, my AA buddies.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the right time to tell you, but I don't know how to sail a ship. Does anybody here know how to sail a ship? Oh, Fleur, you remember how to sail?
Both.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I built the boat.
And Fleur definitely would. Gander probably would have some knowledge of sailing.
Yeah, that's how I got away from Fogo in the first place was, I stole a boat. So, yeah.
Rizwin would arguably probably have some, might have some learning of sailing as well, given that she was trained to be a missionary, to go out into the world and spread the, do good works. But she came from an island nation, so she would have to learn to be able to sail away from said island nation. So she might have had some seaman training.
You said seaman.
I know, and I knew someone was going to call it out.
Sorry, it's getting very close to midnight.
So yeah, you guys have enough people on board that would be able to do this, to set sail. A course is easy enough to chart. You're going to stay along the coast until you get up to basically where Port Daro is, and then you are going to shoot across to Fogo.
Hey, Riswin, do you have any protection spells that you could use on us?
I was thinking about that.
Or like blessings or anything, because that's not my wheelhouse. I'm a shitty cleric.
Yeah, so they're mostly for like attacks. I don't know that I have anything for sailing.
I remember the very first week we played in person, you were on a boat with Fleur and you did something to protect the boat.
Hang on, I have a book for that.
That was in our opening.
Maybe like the sanctuary spell.
For a sec.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but I remember you cast a spell a year ago about a boat.
That's amazing.
You know, wild shape into Cosmo.
I might. It's the only position where I can like actually rest my hand on something because it's like on the couch or on the chair in front of him. So he's just like, all right, bet.
Ben, what was the name of that city that's that we saved before?
Port Daro.
Port Daro.
I mean, it's not hard. Like I would say that because you guys have sailing training, like you can just sail. I'm not gonna even make you like roll for sailing itself. What I will have you guys roll is basically just a check to see if anything happens. But like I said, if you guys sail straight through the night and through the next day, you guys could reach Fogo in, I'd say, as little as 30 hours, unless there is a particular current or other thing that slows you down, which again, that's what the kind of thing we'll be rolling for, will be random events.
Okay.
And who among us knows the way?
Well, Gander knows the way. She literally just came this way, like the day, 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
But it's a pretty common shipping lane to go up the coast and over, so it wouldn't be hard to follow.
Okay, I'm just thinking of like if we take shifts, you know, making sure that we have someone on each shift who knows where we're headed.
Basically, if you got whoever is sailing, so long as they know to keep the coast on the right side of the vessel and in sight, then they are going in the right direction. If the coast changes from the right side of the vessel, it means that they are pointed in the wrong direction. That's the reason why for centuries, ships tended to not go out into open water, is because turns out sailing by the stars is really fucking hard. It's way easier if you can just keep a coastline on your right or on your left to know whether you're headed north or south. Navigation. So anyway, gang, y'all ready to set sail?
So the spell that I used the first day was Shield of Faith, and I'm not entirely sure that I used it properly that one time. It's supposed to be around a creature of my choice, so that doesn't count for a whole ship, right? Like that's.
I think I let you cast it on the ship because all it does is add a +2 to AC.
Okay.
I mean, I would allow you to do that, but that's the kind of thing that would like maybe be a good idea if the ship itself was getting attacked, but it's not the kind of thing you're just going to meditate on the whole time because it does have a duration.
Yeah.
But like if the ship were to be attacked and you're afraid of the ship getting damaged, I would let you cast Shield of Faith on the boat.
Okay. All right, so we'll just hold that in our back pocket.
Cool.
Sounds good. All right. So, are you guys ready to set sail then?
Yes.
Hey.
Okay. Captain Gander, as it is your vessel, I am going to ask you to roll me a D8 and tell me what you get.
Okie dokie, hang tight. Well, shit. 5.
5. Okay. Weather seems pretty clear. The sea doesn't seem to be fighting you too bad. You guys sail on pretty well. For about half a day, you're making good time. Nothing bad seems to happen so far. Are we doing this in shifts? Is somebody taking over the night shift at sea?
Yes,
Goes
I will
up,
take
yeah.
a night shift. I have dark vision.
Oh, yeah, you have
Oh.
to.
Good point.
Very good idea. Do not let the barbarian drive at night.
I can
I have drunk goggles.
He does have night vision goggles that tough need for him.
I got
That's
drink
true.
goggles, the beer goggles.
I'd feel more comfortable with Riswin driving my boat, honestly.
She's got God on her side.
And honestly didn't, end up at the bottom of the ocean with a zombie brick. So
That is
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
fair.
we got a lot of shit in that bag of holding. We have Zarthesius, we have Tomlin, we have some.
Oh,
Oh, we need to dump Tomlin over.
that reminds me. Yeah, are you guys dumping the body?
yeah, let's dump him.
All right.
All right, so you guys dump the body. Is there any?
I
Yeah,
wanna
tie
On this shit.
rock to him or something.
Can we tie some of his shit from his apartment to him? Because we have all of his stuff from his apartment. Tie some books or something to him to weight him down.
Well, I don't want anything identifying on him because what if he washes up?
Oh, that's true.
The more anonymous he looks, the better.
That's
Wait.
true.
Does the ship turn back into a pearl when we're done with it?
It can, yes.
Yes.
can? So we wouldn't just destroy the ship with him on it. Like it's not an
No.
irreversible spell where we're gonna have to destroy the ship. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
It's kind of like in the same way that she called the exploits into being. When you guys get out of the ship, she can summon it back to being a pearl by also like basically dismissing it.
Right.
And then it'll just shoot out of the water like a pearl. Yeah, so I mean, you guys can throw the body overboard. You can tie it to a thing. You guys have things in your inventory that you could throw overboard. Be that a crowbar or literally anything made of metal is going to drag that body down for the most part, I think. So if you guys want to pick a couple items from your inventory, I don't think it needs to be a big deal. We don't need to stress over this late into the session, but we can say that if you guys agree to pick, 20 pounds worth of materials from your inventories, you can bundle that together and sink this body. That's fine with me.
I've got a hunting trap that I'm probably not going to use. That's 25 pounds.
There you go. Time to a literal hunting
That'll work.
trap.
Yeah.
Overboard.
All right, cool.
All right, cool.
Literally-
You guys disposed of a body. Aren't you proud? So
It's not
we
the
are.
worst thing we've done.
Is there any conversations that happen during the day, or do we want to just move on to the night shift at sea?
Let's keep going.
Okay. So Rizwin, now that you are going to be manning the vessel, I need you to roll me a D8.
Is there any like modifiers I should be taking into consideration?
No, just a plain D8. It's just to let me know what possible outcome might happen.
We get fucked.
Okay.
It's a 1.
Hang on. I wanted to add a little bit of narrative to the first day or the first shift.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for it.
Mark totally does not have his sea legs and throws up all over the place.
Nice.
Fair enough. So
Hey, Bart, chew on this, and I hand him a piece of ginger root.
Thanks.
Just put it in between your cheek and your teeth, and suck on it, and bite down.
Okay. And it makes my stomach feel better.
Yes, it's a natural anti-nausea medication.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with ginger. I just didn't realize it would help with this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, loads of people get seasick.
Okay.
I carry it all the time.
I guess I should start.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Thank you.
So now I need to know who is on the vessel with Rizwin at night and who is not.
I am.
I mean, we're all on the vessel, but
Where would
Who
we be?
Asleep and who is awake.
I am on deck with her.
Okay, so Nira chose to wait for the night shift. Who else chose to wait for the night shift?
Erdan probably waited for the night shift. I'd probably spent a little bit of time meditating before.
I'm guessing that Bark probably is laying in a cabin, having been kind of nauseous all day.
Yep.
And dealing with the events of last night. Moira, how about you? Do you think you would have been day or night?
Moira, I think would have been day.
Okay. And that leaves Fleur.
Yes, I'm day because I can't see at night.
Okay. So Moira, Bark, Fleur, and I'm gonna go ahead and say Tup Tup. Maybe he was drinking all day and is now sleeping it off because he had a great day at sea. He was very excited to be on that boat. Are in bed, leaving the two elves and Rizwin awake. Is that it?
I'm in my bunk, but I'm not asleep because I'm still in a twit about going to Fogo.
Oh shit, that's right. Did you not sleep at all the night before?
Nope.
Okay, then
Oh.
if you cannot get a night of sleep tonight, then going into tomorrow, you are going to pick up a point of exhaustion. Just so you know.
Okay, then I guess I will go to sleep. I'm out.
Okay, I mean, do you
So
think
help me, don't you sink my boat.
do you think you would be able to fall
I
asleep?
got you.
I'm gonna drink so that I can go to sleep.
Okay, fair enough. I'm
Not
gonna
enough to be hammered, but just like a shot of whiskey to help me
something
chill
to
the
put you
fuck out.
Okay, so more than half of the crew is sleeping. There's 3 of you. You're the skeleton crew for the night shift. I am going to need all 3 of you to roll a perception check for me. And given that it is dark out, and yes, I know you have dark vision, but it is looking like it's at night, right? And it's out on the sea. I am still going to say disadvantage, just because, again, it's not like you're looking in the general vicinity. You're looking out into the darkness. You're included in
Dang
that.
it, I would have had a nat 20.
Sorry, I hit it a whole bunch of times by accident. So you said disadvantage, so it's the lesser of 2?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's 7.
All right, so roll that d20 twice. So we have. Let me know your total.
Of the 2 rolls
Well, the lower of the 2.
is 8.
8 plus whatever your perception is.
All right, I had to switch. I had to turn on.
Okay. Erdan, your highest was what?
10.
10, and Rizwin, your highest was
7.
7. Okay.
Mine was 8, but my perception modifier, my perception is 6. So 14.
Oh, okay. That'll do it. Nira, you notice, unfortunately, I mean, it's close by the time you notice, but you see some weird disturbances in the water, right? You see the normal wake of the vessel, but you happen to be looking over and you see what almost appear to be like fins coming up, right? Like, and you're looking at it like, wait, what? And as you do that, a trident fully lands in the side of the boat, like you're looking over like this, and it lands down under you, and you look up, and as one of those fins crests the water, sitting on its back is an interesting looking fish man, and he is loaded for bear. And then the other fins that start coming up are also all appear to be fishmen riding sharks, like holding on to sharks as the sharks are swimming up to the surface. And they are eyeing the vessel with these large fish-like eyes that kind of shine as they reflect the torchlight coming from the ship itself. You just see these pairs of eyes all looking up right at you. And I'm going to need the people that are awake right now to roll initiative. Do you have a bonus to initiative? It should be your dex, whatever your dex modifier is.
All right, my dex modifier. So let's switch apps.
That's all right. Erdan and Rizwan, that includes you guys as well.
Yeah, mine was 13, and I also have a 0 dex.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that you guys had rolled. So 13 for Riz, 9 for Erdan,
13 for me as well.
13 for Nira, and the rest of you are currently asleep. So if you guys are going to be involved in this little shindig, you're going to have to be awoken. However, that is where we are going to stop for tonight. As from what you can tell on that perception check, it might be hard to get a full grasp of how many you're looking at, but you see maybe half a dozen, maybe more fishmen, each one of which are riding on the back of a shark, that are coming up to ransack the exploits on her maiden voyage.
Can I be like Leia? Be like, Nero, you're our only hope. Please save us.
You guys, let's be real. If the eggs are in that basket.
You can become a shark octopus.
Or a whale, right?
Kraken!
Ooh,
It could only turn into a sharktopus.
I'm gonna have to do some shit like
not just any sharktopus, a megalodon sharktopus.
Like a megalodon.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Well,
Wait, can I do this? It's gonna be great. I'm so ready.
And we need like to create a tornado so we can have a sharknado.
Yes.
well, yeah. Well,
Cue the Riley training Rocky music montage.
what we'll have to do is we'll have to look at, or what you'll have to do is look at all the beasts under challenge rating 2,
Right?
and so you can
I'm ready.
play in that realm where you're like, all right, let's see.
I got this.
Fucking giant crayfish. That's a CR2.
Fuck around and find out, Sharkman.
Hunter shark is a CR2.
Yep.
So there you go.
Oh.
All right, gang. I think this has been a really fun session. I think this is a good one to get us back into gaming. And I think it's been far too long.
Yeah.
I also think it's a time, the kind of one that we need to decompress from a little bit. This was a heavy game. I mean, starting right off the bat with Moira's meeting with Sildarin, I know that was not as nice of an interaction as I thought you would maybe have hoped for.
No, I think I'm sorry if I was being a bitch, but she's pissed. She hasn't seen him in 20 years.
That's totally fair. Sometimes a dad is gone because he's chained up in hell, and other times a dad is gone because he's a deadbeat. You know what I mean?
That's fine. I just was like, she wasn't gonna be all like, "Oh, Dad, it's so nice to see you." She's like, "No, you didn't warn me that I had a curse that killed 50 people. Fuck you."
Right. And then, of course, moving on, I have had the idea in mind of the maze spell tied to the book for some time. I actually almost reached out to you last week when everyone else said that they could, but you weren't unable to. I was going to be like, hey man, do you want to do a mini session, just you and me, where you're lost in a maze? But I thought it'd be more fun if that happened organically. And sure enough, next session, you try to read the book and roll the nat 1. So it just worked out.
Yep.
So fun. And now you guys are finally on the sea, and we're gonna have a fun battle next session. So I'm very excited, looking forward.
Be singing sea shanties as we go to combat.
Or you guys are gonna get TPK'd, and this whole thing won't matter. Probably not. Probably not. TPK is a total party kill for anyone who doesn't know.
Fans.
Are we gonna be allowed to like have a reaction when we start up again, or are we just gonna jump right into the?
What do you mean by a reaction?
Well, like if we're getting attacked, we're allowed to have reaction. So like, you know, we did the perception check. Was the perception check high enough for me to like notice them and immediately react to that by casting a spell? Or is that?
I would say that you noticed, but that you it wasn't like you rolled like a nat 20, right? Like if you'd rolled really high, I'd say maybe you get in an action before initiative order, but it's just wherever the initiative drops in.
Okay, and then there will be the first 3 of us until the others wake up, right?
Right. So with your first round, and it's not going to take your entire action to do so, to just call out and wake people up. But basically, everyone else is going to miss the first round of combat as they are rousing to battle. Now, I'm not going to say that you guys needed to like don your armor or whatever. It totally makes sense that, given that you're at sea, that you guys slept in your armor, kept your weapons nearby just in case. But basically, for the people that chose to work the day shift instead of the night shift, they will basically roll initiative after the first round is completed.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys. That's all I have for you. Does anyone have anything for me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wasn't asking for applause. No, I meant, did anyone have any questions? Thank you.
What I got for you, though.
I wasn't fishing for compliments or anything.
That's what I got for you.
Yeah.
Well, you netted one anyway.
You guys always hook me in. Although, can I say for real though, earlier, when you were giving the Bark, when you were explaining to the group, that you were reading the book and it like sucked you in, I glanced over at Riley and I was like, it's just so good. It sucked him right in. This book, you can't put it down.
So immersive.
So good. All right,
Not
gang.
really a page turner, though.
Yeah, no. More like a page catch you and hold you for 22 years. So. Anyway. So when do we want to meet next?
Excellent question.
I can't do next week.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know that right up top.
Yep. I'm getting ready for a thing at the church the next day. So
totally fair. I'm just bringing up my a map of the days, a calendar. I'm bringing up my calendar right now.
When you say next weekend, Chris, you mean the 13th?
Correct.
Okay.
So
I will be busy that entire weekend.
Okay. Does the 21st look good?
Yes.
It'd be the 20th, yeah?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the 20th. The 21st is the Sunday. Thank you.
Yep. That weekend looks fine.
20th is good.
Works for us.
Us as well.
All right,
I think-
gang. What?
I just want to check with Ian because I didn't check with him before I said that. We're good.
Okay. So yeah, looks like March the 20th will be our next session, and we shall resolve the battle with the vicious Sahuagin, and if you survive, the arrival on the Isle of Foco, homeland of Rizwin and Gander alike. So I look forward to that that next session.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I think that's where we'll call it for tonight, and we will be seeing most of you in the morning for church.
Not me. I have to take my dog back to the vet.
That's
Oh,
okay.
Aw.
I hope his ball sack is okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's the
I-
thing I gotta fill you in on, Candace.
So many ball sacks today.
So many ball
So many
sacks.
ball sacks. Anyway, bye.
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 I love you, sweeties.